On Monday, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves officially declared open Caricom Energy Week and also commissioned the Lowmans-based solar project undertaken by the St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited (VINLEC) at the ceremony held at the Lowmans Bay plant. Caricom Energy Week is being observed around the region under the theme Achieving Climate and Economic Resilience through Sustainable Development. It runs from November 16 through 22. Caricom has an energy program which was established in 2008 to provide greater focus on energy matters in Caricom. The energy program is executed by the Energy Unit at its secretariat in Georgetown. The unit is headed by Dr. Devon Gardner.
Critical activity within the energy program of Caricom is therefore based on energy information and knowledge management. And the Caricom Energy Week is a part of that knowledge management tool. There are some persons and some of us who will speak about the fact that there have been many studies in the region, for instance, much that is known, much that has been done, and we need to simply stop studying and implement. But I posit to you that there is never enough information, never enough knowledge on the region, on the potentials of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, on the potential of other countries in Caricom, for us to explore all the opportunities that may be available to us. And for that reason, the issue of energy information and energy knowledge management is a primary focus of the Caricom Energy Program. And the Caricom Energy Week is intended to be one of those times when we stop to take stock of what is happening, what do we want to happen, and what are the options that are realizable. Manifested before us today is one such option of solar PV grid utility integration, as is presented to you through this project here at VINLEC. The theme of Energy Week this year is not accidental. It somewhat selected itself. Less than 6 months ago, the heads of government, including your own esteemed Prime Minister, approved a regional strategic plan for Caricom, a 2015 to 2019 5-year strategic plan. And the single, along with ICT, energy is a cross-cutting theme. There are 2 cross-cutting themes that that plan has, and those are energy and ICT, information and communications technologies. And it's understandable why those would be so critical to the strategic plan. I raise that because 2 of the planks within the strategic plan are economic resilience and environmental and climate resilience. So it is therefore natural that the theme that was selected was built from that strategic plan.
Caricom Energy Week received funding from GID's Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Technical Assistance RETA project. The 4-year project focuses on capacity building, private sector cooperation and regional institutional support. Its leader, Dr. Andreas Dibble, works along with Caricom's Energy Unit to implement this project.
We have really moved a lot here in the Caribbean. I'm only here since 1 year, but I'm really impressed how much is moving, how much projects or ideas are developed. And I'm sure when I came here, I asked myself, why is the Caribbean with sun and wind and hydro potentials and everything not so far? For example, Germany has 28% of renewables, and we have not really sun. We have no real wind. So why is it here so different? But I understand, of course, in all these island countries have special problems. There are small economies, and everything which is transported here is an additional cost. So every investment in, for example, also in such a photovoltaic utility is more expensive than in some other places of the world. That shows that it's even more difficult for you to get things done, but you do it, and that is what we like very much. We from Germany would like just to support. Our project, the RITA project, is supportive. We have no own commercial interests. We are supporting the Caricom energy unit and all the member states. And so, for example, if St. Vincent and the Grenadines has a special interest in developing a certain kind of renewable energy, like geothermal energy, or let's say electrical mobility, you have to use the electricity generated from geothermal production, which is also coming at night. You could use this electricity, which is coming at night and not spent because the consumers are sleeping. You could charge cars, electrical cars. So the combination from geothermal energy and electrical mobility would be something where we would really like to support. I think some things are starting now. It will take some years till things will be really moving, but I am very optimistic, and I see this opening of this event and the Caribbean Energy Week, which is already done for several years, as a very, very good sign.
The cost of energy is a challenge, and Director of the Local Energy Unit shared some of the challenges faced by this country and other Caricom member states.
And I want to echo some words from a key speaker in a recently concluded Caricom meeting in Barbados. We as consumers have a certain expectancy when it comes to electricity. We expect that when we hit that light switch to see light instantly. And when that occurs, we expect it not to flicker. And it must stay on until we decide to turn it off. At the end of the month, we expect it to be cheap. We expect reliability, we expect sustainability, and it must be affordable. However, the harsh reality is that most times the cost for reliability and sustainability is not always affordable, at least in the short term. I have been raised by growing up from my parents hearing nothing in life comes free. I sure my mother is smiling when she hears this. And we can also accept that quality sometimes, that most times is expensive. We also can accept that unless we are an oil-producing country, fuel will not be cheap. And therefore, if our current generation relies on fossil fuel, then electricity will be expensive. So as a government and as a utility, we must work together to find the right blend to achieve sustainability, reliability, and affordability for customers. In reviewing St. Vincent and the Grenadines' energy policy and the action plan, our objective essentially speaks to reducing the dependence on fossil fuel, which ultimately leads to sustainable development. This objective is mirrored through all 15 member states of Caricom who have adopted a national energy policy. But if you look at VINLEC's vision statement or the mission, it speaks primarily to delivering a good quality electricity. Barbados Light and Power again highlights the importance of delivering world-class service. And it continues, LOOSLEC, GRENLEC, GPS. All the utilities throughout Caricom are committed to the delivery of high-quality electricity to consumers. So at one hand, we have the utilities that is focusing on the reliability. On the other hand, we have the energy policy makers focusing on sustainability. And many times, our objectives are not fully aligned. Fortunately, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Energy Unit and Utility are both state-owned entities.
Government has been investigating the possibility of setting up a geothermal plant in this country. The year 2018 is a target set to have a 5 to 15 megawatt geothermal plant operational here. This will provide baseload power to this country. The Clinton Global Initiative is working along with the government on this project.
President Clinton is extremely dedicated to this region, as demonstrated by the fact that some of our first work was catalyzed by a conversation with Prime Minister from St. Kitts and Nevis, who asked the president to help solve the HIV/AIDS crisis. Further, the Clinton Foundation has realized that there is great opportunity to reduce both reliance on foreign diesel oil and reduce electricity prices through harnessing the abundant renewable energy resources of island nations, the Caribbean and worldwide. As such, the Clinton Foundation has established an islands diesel reduction program under which we have MOUs with 25 island nations worldwide, including 10 in the Caribbean. In the years we've worked in the Caribbean on this energy program, we have been extremely impressed with the leadership in the region, where leaders clearly understand the urgency of sustainable energy development and that this is linked to sustainable development overall. In particular, we also have been extremely impressed with the talent demonstrated in the region, both from governments, supporting organizations, financial institutions, utility companies, many of whom are represented here today. Nowhere has this impressive demonstration of leadership and talent been more evident than here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Prime Minister here has been, yes, very much deserved. Prime Minister Gonsalves has been unwaveringly supportive of transforming their energy economy and thereby the economy overall by welcoming in a new energy regime that is ripe with renewable energy. To demonstrate this, we have not only the solar project that we are commissioning today, but a transformative geothermal project that the Clinton Foundation has been working closely with the government on for the past few years. And to demonstrate the urgency at which the government is working, this all began as a conversation 2.5 years ago between the Clinton Foundation, the energy unit, and the utility. And by now, we have struck a very productive and fair partnership with a private sector company that has both the economic strength and the technical expertise to implement a geothermal project in the next few years. This project takes advantage of the abundant geothermal resource here in St. Vincent. For decades, this resource has been known to exist, with the first scientific studies happening in the 1970s. However, it was only in the past few months, in fact, under this regime, administration, and with the help of the Clinton Foundation, that the energy resource has been proven. It is large enough to power most of the island's electricity needs with much cheaper fuel from a domestic source, and this will truly transform the economy.
As the cost of fuel got higher, VinLec started looking at alternative sources of energy. The 349 kilowatt grid-connected solar photovoltaic system installed on the grounds of Lowmans Bay Power Plant and the one installed at Kane Hall in 2012 to 2013 is an investment of over 2.6 million EC dollars. The engineering design, project management and installation of this project was done by VinLec's technical staff, led by engineer Fidel Neverson.
There are those who, for one reason or another, have criticized us for investing in solar PV. While we facilitate the installation of renewable energy systems, wind and solar, by our customers, not many of our customers have the financial resource to install such systems on their own. Therefore, as a power company with the responsibility to provide power to the entire populace, we are investing in solar such that the entire customer base can benefit from reduced fuel expenditure through a small reduction in the fuel surcharge. Additionally, for private citizens who install such systems, they would have the opportunity to use some or all of the energy they generate and to be paid by VinLec for any energy that is fed into the distribution network. The benefits of investing in solar PV are far-reaching. The installed capacity of solar PV owned by VinLec will be soon 557 kilowatts. This will provide electricity for some 533 homes and will result in a reduction of approximately $500,000 in fuel costs to our customers annually. In total, the solar PV installed in the state, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is 781 kilowatts. And this will provide electricity to approximately 48 homes and reduce the nation's fuel bill by over $700,000 annually. That is at today's cost. We have global warming and climate change, and the impact on small island developing states such as our very own St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As a small country, our investment in solar PV is a demonstration to the world of what our small island is prepared to do to reduce our carbon footprint. We should be supported by the international community in this exercise. We have had 5 years of experience in solar PV, and we are quite comfortable with the technology. In addition to our own installation, we have been monitoring over 40 such installations in St. Vincent and Beckwith. For those who wish to support us in the further expansion of solar energy, let's reduce the bureaucracy. Germany on the 50th parallel has invested heavily in solar PV technology to generate electricity from a renewable source. And it is achieving capacity factors in the region of 16 to 20%. We are located on the 13th parallel, north of the equator, and there is absolutely no need for a pre-feasibility and feasibility study to investigate solar radiation. As a result of the solar PV that is connected to the Vincent network, the country is reducing its carbon footprint by approximately 800 tons of carbon dioxide annually. Clearly, this is not anything to smoke about. Vincent will continue to invest in solar PV to reduce the nation's fuel bill, to improve energy security, assist in bringing some stability to the cost of electricity, and ultimately to help in the reduction of greenhouse gas emission and global warming.
Many Vincentians have one desire: to see the fuel surcharge on their electricity bill heavily reduced, and many times harsh criticisms are often lashed out at VINLEC in this regard. However, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Ms. Renee Batiste, says VINLEC is doing its best to educate the public on how to better manage fuel consumption.
This activity today at Lowmans Bay, where we are going to declare open, the Honorable Prime Minister will do that, this new system connected to the electricity network and will generate electricity for the use of consumers. I think it would provide some additional and 320 homes, and you would have heard the other statistics enumerated by the CEO in relation to the overall picture as of this time. VINLEC recognizes the importance of the renewable energy since it will reduce our nation's fuel bill. And I hear the screams on various radio talk shows about the fuel surcharge, despite VINLEC's attempts over the last several months to inform the nation, asking members of the media to be present at seminars so that the media can carry the correct and accurate story and not the chicken licking one, so that we can understand exactly what is the situation in the burning of fuel in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the use of diesel for the production of the electricity.
Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves, who also has energy under his portfolio, extended his gratitude to President Bill Clinton and the Clinton Global Initiative for their support with the geothermal project.
I have to thank profusely President Clinton and the Clinton Global Initiative. They connected with us and they brought Emera, a company out of Canada, a provider of energy, which owns several companies in the region, including Barbados Light and Power and Reykjavik Geothermal, a company experienced in the geothermal business. And we are working together. June next year, we are going to get the business plan, and we have given parameters in this regard through our MOU. It's still on for June, Thornley. That's still the date. It's still June, yes. And we will see the numbers, but we have given them a number which they cannot exceed in respect of the current price of electricity. So that when we have geothermal, the expectation is that we will have a significant reduction in the price. Of course, it will depend on the extent to which we mobilize resources to invest in the company, the joint venture operation. And I'm hoping with all that we are doing that we will get some grant money to help us to invest into this business. I have given indicative dates for the geothermal plant, 10 megawatts. If it happens in early 2018, please, don't crucify me. It's not a hanging offense. It is, these deadlines are indicative and not cast in stone. I want to say something about what is happening to the energy prices. The fuel prices. We know that in recent weeks, the fuel prices have been tumbling. Last month, you didn't see it reflected in your bill for the simple reason that we imported, because the weather was still dry, relatively speaking, up to last month. The hydroelectricity production was down. So we had to have it supplemented by importing more diesel. And even though the price had fallen, you didn't get the full effect of the price, the fall in price internationally, because of the increased purchases of fuel. But I expect within the next month or so, that where the fuel surcharge is now 52.7 cents per unit, I would expect it to go below 50 cents, barring some cataclysmic occurrence.
Kathy Rose reporting for the API.